Hey there. I've been reading this amazing book called Life After Google: The Fall of Big Data and the Rise of the Blockchain Economy by George Gilder. And this question came to mind that I think is very important to answer. But how do you get more time out of your day? And this isn't a video, it's about time management or procrastination or anything like that. This is a video, and the answer to that question that I'm making as the main idea of this video is the answer is to value your time. And that's what I came to realize about this book, Life After Google. To value your time. Now, it sounds like something so simple, so obvious. But here's the thing is that most people are not valuing their time. We've heard how the ultra wealthy, you've probably heard how the ultra wealthy trade time or trade money for time, but most of us trade time for money. We trade our time for money, and the wealthy and the ultra rich trade their money for time. Or trade their money for time. Yes, that's right. And what that means, which this might just be a reminder to some people, but just for the sake of being on the same page with everything, what we can come to the same page is the idea that money being traded for time means that you have more time because you're having others help you to do work. So if you're a business person, if you're a government leader or whatever, or you're a company, you have employees, you have volunteers, you have many people working for you to help you have more time. And it's not necessarily just leisure time. Maybe a business leader or some sort of leader has to take their time to think about the business, to do certain activities, to have meetings, to make plans, and all of that. So they're trading their money, their resources, so that they have more time to do what it is they want or they need most effectively. But most people have a mentality, and I have had that mentality as well, and I still have that mentality sometimes, where I trade my time for money. So I give up some of my time to help people to make more money. I traded some of my time to write books, to create content, to do these reviews, to talk about these topics. And I sometimes trade that time for money, but I also trade my money for time as well. So the people who end up spending most of their lives only trading their time for money do not end up creating the lives that they want, because they are trading their lives for money, for someone else's purposes. Now, this doesn't always mean that trading your time for money is bad. Of course, you could trade your time for money, especially if you're making a lot of money and you have bosses and you're fulfilling your life's purpose and all of that. Maybe you're the CEO of an organization that you've been working for from the beginning of your career, and you love every single thing you do, and you trade your time for money, and you're also trading money for time in other areas of your life. So with that said, there's a fine balance there that you can start to come up with. But what it really comes down to is valuing your time more. And here's the pivotal idea that I got from this book, Life After Google. Yes, it talks about blockchain. Yes, it talks about big data and technology. But beyond that, beyond all of this technology, what I found is that the internet and social media has made us start to devalue a lot of the things that has made us come to devalue our time. We have given up so much of our time to social media, to work, to the things that social media makes us believe we want. And we have given up so much of our time for entertainment. And let that sink in for a moment. We have given up so much of our time, hours per day. I still get sucked into, even though I know this, I still get sucked into social media, watching videos, being entertained by videos that aren't really that helpful to my life, that aren't going to help me in any way, but they keep me entertained in the moment. But think about if you're not aware of this idea. Think about how many people are not aware and conscious of this, and they get sucked into media, movies, content. They get sucked into the internet and just doing endless amounts of searching because they have not truly come to value their time. Or maybe they value their time, but they just don't even realize that they're getting sucked into these ideas. But here's the thing. If you start to value your time, think about this. How much, first of all, time is not a renewable resource. You cannot get more time. The only way to do more is to have people either help you and pay for their work, pay for their labor. You know, you pay, you find someone that also believes and aligns with what you want to do and work with them. Or you partner with people and you can work together towards the similar goals. But at the end of the day, you cannot get more time. Every second that you're watching this video, my goal is to only add more value because I value your time, I value my time. And, you know, we should all value our own time more. So I only hope that I can add enough certainty and enough urgency to this video that you start to value your time more, and that hopefully motivates you to do more. Because at the end of the day, the only things that can motivate us to do more is a sense of urgency, a sense of need, a desire, and desire to go do something, or, you know, we want to avoid the pain of losing out on time. So if I've spent enough time, I mean, you can end this video right now with that message, and hopefully, you know, you go cut off this video and go do whatever it is that you truly want to do. But go ahead and look at this book, or maybe you just go out and go ahead and pick up the book by George Gilder, Life After Google. But if you want to continue and listen to this thought so that, you know, you understand a little bit more about it, think about it this way. The amount of time that we give to social media, we consider it free. We're giving up our time to consume free content. But it's not free. Someone is paying to have our attention. Social media, we're giving up for creators. There's content creators that are monetizing our attention. You know, they're giving their time to create content. They're putting their money and their resources to get our attention. But who's paying for it? The people that are paying for it are advertisers. Advertisers pay anywhere between a penny to $5 to $10 or more for just a second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds of our time for each person's time. So that ultimately is how much advertisers value our time. The penny for the 5 seconds that we'll never get back. The $10 for just the view of the video that they posted, for 10 seconds of a view that we will never have back in our lives. That's how much these advertisers value our time. And if they're paying any less, then they don't really value our time. They're just considering our time a commodity, probably because we've been giving up our time for that much money. But remember this, we will never get those seconds back. And if you take any message away, it is to value your personal time more. And that is ultimately what I really got away from this book, Life After Google, because advertisers are paying billions of dollars for our attention. They're paying billions of dollars to have our eyeballs, our attention on their content for just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, to get us to click, to get us to view, to get us to listen to them, to get us to know their name, to get us to know their brand. They are paying billions of dollars for that. And for those of us that value our time at a penny for 5 seconds, then that's what we're getting. But there's a way to start taking control of that. So simply starting from the beginning of this video is to value our time, to realize that our time is a non-valuable resource. There's so many resources in this world that we pay for: gas, coal, energy, food, water, all of these things. Yes, they're important to us. We need oxygen, or else we're not going to survive more than a few seconds. We need water, or else we won't survive more than a few days. We need food. We need love and relationships. We need the internet. We need indoor plumbing. We need all of these things. We want entertainment. We want joy. We want happiness. We want good times. We want to live our lives to the fullest. We want those things, and all of those other things are abundant. Money is a renewable resource. It is printed and destroyed in the billions, I think, or the millions every single day. But the one thing that we as individuals will never get back is time. And that is ultimately the biggest thing that I took away from this book. And if you can start to value your time, you're going to start to see changes, like, you know, how you spend your time, what you end up doing with your time. I mean, this shift in your mind of what people are paying for, what advertisers are paying these big content making companies for, is a lot of money. Content creators are being paid a lot of money, not because they're so entertaining or whatever. Yes, that's important, but because they're entertaining to the consumer. Because the consumer is willing to give up their time to watch their videos, and advertisers are willing to pay for that. This is such a huge principle that I took away from this book. I mean, yes, knowing about the big data technologies in the future and how we could potentially make money off of these things, because he talks about investing, and, you know, of course, if you're investing in the next big technology, you have potential to make a lot of money. But that's one thing. But knowing where our time is going, how internet and technology is keeping our attention, and how they're monetizing, and all of those things, and what our time is worth, those are the big topics to consider, to think about. And that is ultimately the biggest takeaway, because time is a non-renewable resource for each individual one of us. But of course, if we create a big vision or something, we create a company. If you create a company like Disney, Hewlett-Packard, General Electric, Coca-Cola, you create a company like Pepsi, Walmart, Boeing, any of those companies, you create a massive visionary company, then, you know, you're gonna have plenty of people continuing that vision even beyond the time that you've gone away. You know, that company is a part of you that continues on as long as people can put in the time to continue that business. But at the end of the day, I mean, that gets into a more like spiritual, like quantum realm that we're going. But at the end of the day, value your time, value this one renewable resource that you do not get more of, and spend the time to consume the knowledge, the things that you want, and to do the things in your life that are going to make you happy, that are going to make you feel successful, that you're going to enjoy. So with that, very valuable book. I'm glad I learned that lesson from this, even though I've heard it a dozen different ways, a dozen different times, to value your time. You know, something that came out of this book that was so beneficial, and it can potentially change your life for the better in so many ways. Like, when you start to have that urgency, you're going to find the how to have more time. You're going to find the how to make more money, and how to trade that money for more time and all that. So with that, thank you for watching. I wish you prosperity and have a wonderful day.